Hey guys, it's Marco again. Many of you are probably wondering, should I play Fire and maybe even try Sun King's Blessing? Well, today I'll give you my reasons why you should try it. The first reason is the most important reason, and that's the fun aspect. Sun King's Blessing is a quality boost to a Fire Mage gameplay, where you won't feel like a wet noodle whenever you're waiting for combustion. With this build, you're constantly building towards something, and every fireball critical has a meaning to you. You're not just waiting for that clock to reach 0 seconds. That's definitely different than the usual Fire Mage gameplay, doing fine damage not only during your burst, but for the majority of the fight is a quality of life improvement. Another thing which I quite like and find super fun is hard casting Pyroblasts. I can assume that a good chunk of player base doesn't like this. But for me, this fits well into the roleplay. You have to find a perfect time to stand still to cast your devastating spell, which also causes you to combust. Can't get cooler than that. Second reason is the DPS. Let's face it, all of us like to pump, and ideally we want to see ourselves at the top of the DPS meter, which isn't going that well for us this patch. This build offers the biggest solo target damage of all the mage specs, and to top it, it scales the best from all the classes with power infusion as long as you're Ventier. So you can make a super easy claim for that power infusion buff to pump even more damage to move up on the DPS meter. The main issue with this build is that it falls when it comes to AoE, especially when you're Ventier. But trust me my dudes, you can have an easy out of the jail card with your officers just by saying, well, I wasn't on top of the meter because I mainly focused on damaging the boss as much as I could. And you can easily prove that using the Warcraft logs. Your officers will be like, damn, that's a huge solo target damage, and final raider who isn't obsessed with padding the meter. But little do they know of your true goal.
Ready to set the world on fire.
While on topic of the DPS, this build excels at the execute because you will gain mini combustion every 20 few seconds, and we all know that the last moments of the fight are the most important ones. My last reason why you should play Sun King's Blessing is that this way you will know one more way to play a mage, and when the next big patch hits, the raid proves to be filled with solo target dummies, you can easily just equip this bad boy and start doing super fine damage, without needing to spend too much time to relearn the ways of this build, while other mages who didn't want to try it will have to learn this whole thing from scratch. So always keep yourself ahead of the curve. Thinking more about this legendary, I couldn't really figure out its weak spot, except having to stand still for a few seconds and lacking on AoE department. You will avoid the standing problem by knowing the fight and when you can safely stay put in order to cast the Pyroblast. While AoE department is pretty much sorted by the rest of the greedy bunch in your raid, waiting for that delicious pad. I hope that you guys are greedy DPSers and that you will DPS the life out of the like button. You successfully got to the end of the video, so toss in that subscribe and ring the bell to see more of my videos. If you want to be coached by the Archmage or just further support his studies, check out his Patreon linked in the description. Thank you for watching, and until next one, take care.